I'm going to meet you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this month of Exo Metaverse. This is the Exo Consortium, where we pull together a bunch of different organizations so that we can collaborate, talk about our projects, what we're working on, and invite all of you who are listening today to get involved, to know what's going on, and for this beautiful collaboration that we're doing across so many organizations. And we have some incredible people here tonight. We have Tangilla of Soul Search, we have Neil Gar of Portal to Ascension, and we thank him for sponsoring our unlimited broadcasting once a month. We have Sylvain, we also have Brandy, who's going to be talking about Conscious Life Expo, which is actually our focus tonight, because we are all been talking about it, sending messages, emails, everybody's showing up in Los Angeles for the Conscious Life Expo starting on February 10th. And there's so many cool projects that are going to be doing speeches, doing demos, biofields, spoon bending parties, all this stuff. So that's what we're really going to focus on tonight. And I just wanted to tell you a few things that we're going to be doing. So LightNet is going to be at Conscious Life Expo. We're going to have a booth. We are also going to be focusing on a very new experiment we're doing. So as many of you know, we are trying to really take the theory about contacting ETs and loved ones and angels and guides into practice. We know it's possible, but can we do it? And we believe that the best way to do that is in small, tiny family groups of 8, where we meet for 8 weeks. It's like having dinner with a small group of 8 people for 8 weeks, once a week. You really bond and you can set that intention. But we had someone in Japan, Altair, who said, oh, Basinka, let's just do 100 people at once. What would happen? And I was like, I don't know. And so he's going to be running Contact 100 in March 3rd, 4th, and then 10th and 11th. And this is our big experiment, which we're going to be presenting at Conscious Life Expo, where we're going to be meeting in the middle of the night, okay, around the world. He's in Japan. We're going to be all over the world. And in the middle of the night, we're going to get together for 4 hours, and we're going to come into coherence. We're going to set our intentions, and we're going to make contact with the great beyond together. Okay. And then when the next weekend, we're going to talk about what happens. So that's what we're going to be working on. I also just want to share a couple of things that are happening at LightNet. You know, LightNet is now a living, breathing organism when we listen to you guys and what you want. And what you guys have wanted is more chances, not just to listen to people talking, but to actually make friendships and bonds beyond your work environment, beyond your families. And so we've added a lot of different stuff for you guys. One of which is a community call, which we're doing on Saturday at 9 a.m. or actually 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's free. Anybody can come. And we put you guys in groups of 3 to really bond with each other during that hour. So it's a chance for you to meet someone new, to reflect upon yourself. What are you working on? What are your challenges? And we're going to have Isaac Mars be doing the first 15 minutes. So an experiencer talks about their experience, the ET contact experience, and then we have a chance to just talk. We also have added breakthrough coaching. So we know that all this, interesting stuff is great. Spoon bending is great, but it's really not about spoon bending. It's about making your dreams come real in your life, whatever you're up to. And we added a coaching program that's free for members 3 times a month. You guys are going to get together for a couple hours or for an hour where you go and you actually work through what you're working on. Like, what is your goal for this year and what's in your way? So it's a lot of neuro-linguistic programming, and it's a lot of different support where you can really see what's stopping you. So that's part of our LightNet membership. And then lastly, we are launching our contact teams in 1 week from now. So we have 128 people coming together. I want to share my screen real quick. This is the Contact with Altair, which you can find out at lightnet.org/contact100. Then we also have the community call, which you can just do with lightnet.org/connection and join that for free. And then here's our contact labs. So we started with 4 professors, then 8. Now we have 16. And when you sign up for one team, you get access to 16 different classes for $200. It's really fun. So remote viewing is almost sold out. There's only 2 spots left. Lucid dreaming is new, absolutely amazing skill. If you'll never want to go back. Alpha and theta brainwave training, we just added. It's the line between your conscious and your subconscious mind. This is where all the magic happens. This is where contact happens. We're also doing channeling again with Adrian Fisher. Light language is also almost sold out right now. I'm doing ham radios. We're also doing an art class with April Cotton Dick, she's amazing. And it's really a chance for you to get in your flow. And we're doing craft circles new with Nadi Hanna, who's part of the consortium as well. It's going to be very powerful. And then we're doing a meditation quantum leap for the portal of the heart with just new with Oriana. And it's a very interesting mode that she's going to get you completely out of your head into the quantum world. The astral travel is also almost sold out. Leo was voted our best professor in the last season. It's really amazing. You get to look at your charts and the star families in that chart. We have Intuition Accelerator with Jesslyn, which is really powerful. You really get down to making decisions in your life. And we have Stone Hobbit in Down Under in Australia and New Zealand that's working with very powerful codes. She's made a lot of contacts. She's going to be a great professor. Joy as well is doing really unpacking your subconscious mind. So taking out all that fear, because when you remove the fear, you're high enough vibe to make contact with your loved ones, your angels, your guides. And then we have a Jedi practice with Eureka, which is all the Eastern stuff that we never learned about, the Tibetan yoga, the Tantra, all that really cool stuff. And we also have a Japanese one and a kids one, which is going to be amazing. So you can find out about that at lightnet.org/register. In 1 week, we're kicking off. So right now I'd like to pass the mic to Brandy, who has been the incredible person that has gotten all the kittens together to get us the Conscious Life Expo, get our booths registered, our talks registered. I'm going to be speaking on Saturday at 3 o'clock, so I hope to see you guys there. And Brandy, welcome. Thanks for helping the whole community get organized for this incredible event. Oh, Brandy, you're on mute.
Okay, I think I'm on mute now.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here and just to talk about Conscious Life Expo. It's an awesome event. We've been doing it for 21 years. We get 12 to 13,000 people, and I would have to say this is going to be the most exciting, most diverse one that we've ever put on. Like, we have so many different things that we've never brought to Conscious Life Expo before, and we're hitting across all the gamut. So mind, body, spirit, UFOs, truth. If you are looking for truth, we have a huge down the rabbit hole track. We have Yaima, so we have like a big singing act there. We have seances. We have everything you can think of. If you're looking for whatever interest you have, you definitely will find it at Conscious Life Expo this year. So sharing my screen a little bit, just kind of here you'll kind of see all the different speakers that we have. We have many speakers happening at the same time. Then we have like many special events. So here's some of the special events we're talking about. Here's Down the Rabbit Hole. If you're a truth, kind of a truth person, then we have a lot of the big speakers: Del Bigtree, Foster Gamble, Sasha Stone, Mickey Willis, Plandemic 3 movie, all of those types of things. So it's going to be really exciting. If you are interested in all of that kind of thing, but then also, yeah, we have like Tesla technology coming there. So there's a room that you can experience this kind of Tesla technology. And then also you might have heard of the EE systems. That's kind of gone viral with Jason Shirka. He'll be there too. But the inventor of the EE system, that's just gone viral all across the United States and the world. If you haven't experienced it, we're going to actually have a room where you can experience that as well, as long with, you know, talking to the inventor of that. And then we're also doing things like we haven't done before too, with like a lot of like kind of sound baths and you know, kind of that kind of stuff that you might experience in spiritual communities, which we really kind of didn't do those types of things. So that's really exciting. We got Expo's Got Talent. We got, yeah, the Plandemic 3 movie is going to be a first cut, and there's going to be a panel, so you can kind of be a part of the actual end movie by giving your input of, you know, what you liked, what you didn't, what you think should be added, that kind of thing. So you can be a part of the making of the Plandemic 3. And we, like I said, we got the seance. This also a disclosure lunch. If you like, you know, UFO ET stuff, we have a lot of speakers in that area. We have a speaker reception. This year we have a book contest. So you can kind of vote for your favorite book right now. It's right here, vote now. And then one of these authors will be awarded. You know, we have a first, second, third cash prize for it. I'm just going to plug mine one here. Heal Your Heart for Your Mind. Vote for that one.
Yeah, Contact is also on that list. Alan's book too.
Alan, yeah, is one of the speakers, and his is right there as well. I don't see Melissa on here, but she's a speaker here in Sedona, and hers is in here as well. I think right here next to me, I believe, right there. So yes, so please vote for your favorite book. It's end of February 1st is the last day you can vote. So we're kind of at the end of being able to vote right now. And yeah, we have Expo's Got Talent. So if you got talent, you can sign up to try out for, you know, share your talent with us. So here we go. Expo's Got Talent. Of course, like we said, Yaima, which is an amazing spiritual band. If you don't know, I recommend you listen to some of their songs that are on the page, and you'll hear how amazing it is. And let's see what other key things that should be shared. We not only do we have, you know, the main conference expo, the 10th through the 12th, but we also have a post-conference happening. So it will be more intimate with some of the speakers. Do we have it on the second thing? Yeah, post-conference right here. So if you want to kind of go more in depth with some of these speakers, they're like 2.5 hour sessions here. And so that will be on Monday, the 13th. Oh, and then I just also will say that we have a lot of panels, interesting panels. And I will just, first talk about, like, this New Earth one will be a lot of kind of freedom speakers will be on this panel. And that will be really interesting of what the New Earth consciousness looks like. I will be hosting this wellness panel where we have David Wolf, also Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels, who created the EE system, will be a part of it as well. So it's kind of like, both physical and spiritual healing. And is my time up? Or
I don't know.
I have a little more time.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so there's lots of really interesting panels, actually, I think this one, I think Tangela will be hosting this one. So the soulmates and twin flames. So she'll maybe talk a little more about that, but that also is going to be an amazing one with a twin ray. Let's see, like the astrology panel is somebody else who is in the Sedona community, Raquel Spring, she will be on that one as well. And I think that is it, far as maybe being really specific on things to point out on the page.
Thank you so much, Brandy. I've added the book vote into, if you can stop sharing, that'd be great. Yeah. And I've added the book link to vote for books in the chat. And okay. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't been to Conscious Life Expo, it is the most stimulating thing. I mean, you meet people in the elevator, like, I can't, it's like, it's a really, there's so much going on. The exhibition hall is like filled with so many different books and people and projects. And then there's lectures. And then it sounds like they're doing so much more experiential stuff there as well. The parties at night, obviously, like the whole thing is really great. So
and people really like, people come, like all of the producers all come to that event because we're like one of the biggest events out there. So it's just it's a kind of networking who's who. Even if people aren't speaking there, they're coming there to connect with everybody that is there.
Yeah.
Cool. So find your program guide. We have them at a lot of spiritual centers that'll give you all the kind of details besides our website. So
awesome.
Here in Sedona, they're at Unity. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brandy. Thanks for all you're doing to organize. It's a huge effort. It takes all year to do this, you guys. It's like a lot of people. So someone who's also busy and doing so much for the community is Neil Gar. We're super pleased to have him tonight to talk about what he's going to be doing at the expo and also in Egypt, possibly.
Hey, Zinka. Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be here and be with you guys and to talk about Conscious Life Expo because it's an amazing event. I've been going to it for around 7-8 years now, and my evolution of the different experiences I've had there. I was a vendor selling Tibetan bowls to promoting different events to now being a speaker. So I'm excited that I'm getting to be a part of this event and really curating the content and the awareness that's going to be shared there. It's just so epic, like full circle awareness. It's like an infusion of this vibration into the collective field every single year when this happens, right? So I want to just jump on here and just talk about my presentations that I'm going to be doing. I'm presenting twice. I have, first of all, everybody, my name is Neil. I'm a founder of Portal to Ascension, a conscious event production organization. And I'm going to be representing Portal to Ascension there, but also the presentations that I'm doing. One is called The Truth, Life, and Times of Pythagoras. And I've done, put together many presentations, but honestly, this was my most favorite presentation I've ever done. It took me a whole year of like immense amounts of research, 1,000 hours of like books, videos, and all types of content on the life of Pythagoras in Greece on the time before, during, and after Pythagoras' life. The reason why I chose this topic is because I don't know if any of you've noticed, but Pythagoras has actually been mentioned many times within the conscious community, in regards to a few different things. I'll just share really quick. Frequencies, 432 hertz frequencies, the chakra system, the musical scale. If you get chakra tuning forks from any store and you look at the frequency on there, all of them are tuned to the scale that Pythagoras supposedly discovered, right? So a lot of people have spoke about his life. So I decided to go and do a deep dive, which was originally a 3 to 4 hour presentation on Pythagoras that I'm cutting down to an hour and a half. And a few spoiler alerts here, but he was the first vegan in Greece, and they didn't know why he was vegan. He believed in past lives and reincarnation, and there was a story where he had that there was someone beating their dog, and he basically had this guy stop in his tracks from beating the dog and said, "That was my cousin in a past life. How dare you? You shouldn't beat your animals because they normally are family members reincarnated." And then the other element, so many different things, is this right behind me. What is this? It's the Pythagorean theorem, a Pythagorean triangle, right? But actually, little show and tell for today. But actually, the wisdom that I'm really excited to present on is that a lot of people say, they get upset at Pythagoras because they're like, he didn't find this information, he stole it. The Africans knew about it, the Babylonians knew about it. But Pythagoras never said he found it himself. He actually spoke about where he got his content from. Later in life, later after he died, they started making it that it was exclusively him when his information was hijacked by the Roman Empire and then became part of the Masonic order. So this right here is a smoking gun, because every one of these squares is the actual dimensions, the diameter of the base of one of the pyramids on the Giza Plateau. All 3 bases on the Giza Plateau. 1, 2, 3. You get all 3 of those pyramid bases together, you put them together, it creates the Pythagorean theorem and the Pythagorean triangle. So we're going to go to deep dive into ancient Egypt and be talking about, half the presentation is going to be talking about the mystery schools in Egypt and where he got his information from, which segues into the fact that we're going to Egypt in September of this year. And we're doing a tour with the Hurtaks, JJ Desiree Hurtak. Alan Steinfeld's going to be there. Joan of Angels co-producing it with us September 6th to 16th. So we'll also be at Conscious Life Expo letting people know about that. And then before I close out here, I'm doing one other presentation. And it's really cool because it's the first time I've ever done something like this. So I'm putting a bunch of things together. It's spoken word, chanting, and breathwork workshop. So we're gonna do a sea of ohms. We'll have hopefully a good amount of people in there. We'll have all different chants going on at the same time. We're gonna do some Kundalini breathwork, and then we're also gonna have spoken word pieces in between, kind of a psychedelic journey without the psychedelics, So that's kind of how it's going to be. So I'm presenting on Friday and I'm presenting on Sunday, and I'm excited to see some of you guys there.
Thank you so much, Neil. I'm so excited about both of these presentations, and especially the second one, because there's nobody that could do that but you. This is your strong suits in a mashup together. So that's amazing. And everyone's I don't want to say the rumor mill about Egypt, but because it's not a rumor mill, but everyone's like, I want to go. I got to figure out how to go. So I'm going to be a powerful group. Thanks again for all you're doing. Up next, I'm going to bring up Vivian. She's got a healing later. So that sounds exciting. Thanks so much for being here, and let everybody know what you're working on.
Well, thank you so much, Zenka. It's a pleasure meeting with you today. Brandy as well. And I want to thank Tangela for telling me about tonight. So very grateful. My name is Viviane Chauvet. I am internationally known as a Nocturne Hybrid Avatar. I speak on behalf of a very large intergalactic delegations and the Federation of Light, but especially my group of Octorian that I represent. We have a lot of Octorian energy right here, right now. And it is truly a pleasure to come back this year again at Conscious Life Expo. Lots going on. Not only we're going to have a booth, M71, my husband and I, who creates absolutely phenomenal. Yes, Tangela, you met my husband, what he creates is also phenomenal. It's all handmade. So, and thank you so much for that, dear. And I'm going to be on the panel on Sunday with Deborah. I'm going to be part of the New Earth Consciousness panel on Sunday, which is I'm excited to share this panel with other amazing people. I am also part of the book signing. I'm a book nominee. I want to show you right now. This is our beautiful book, Golden Wisdom of Love, Legend, and Legacy. Let me tell you something about this book. This is a labor of love that brings 35 authors together, and I'm one of them. And it is truly a collaborative of golden wisdom. And the energy that comes from this book is off the chart, whether it's contact, angels. I wrote a chapter on the legend of Lemurian in Atlantis, and I am really happy to be the representative of this book. So definitely part also of the book nominees. I am presenting as well. I'm out of breath here, so much energy. I'm going to be doing a workshop on the universal holographic matrix activation on February, Saturday, the 11th at 4 p.m. And so it's going to be a really powerful universal holographic matrix activations with the Arcturians, pointing into the 12 corresponding dimensional field that we're going to be co-creating together and going above. So the workshop is on Saturday, and I'm doing a lecture on Sunday as well on the Living Library of Light. As a Nocturians, we work a lot. Yes, Senka, see? I knew it. Yes, I was told by my council to bring the Living Library of Light. This is part of what I'm going to bring, and that's going to be on Sunday. And speaking of a high frequency experiential lecture, that's going to be one of them for sure. So make sure you come. We're going to do elemental breathing technique. We're going to bring into allowing ourselves to venture into the temple of alignment, and of course the Living Library of Light directly from the great central sun. So it's truly a pleasure to be there. On the Conscious Life Expo, we do a lot of work, and as you can know, tonight I'm working again. I have more healing session coming in, and it is a pleasure to be of service. So allow me to share quickly my website, which is infinitehealingfromthestars.com. And you can also see a link to my husband's, Peter's, website called Energies of Service. And we are truly here to be of service. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here with so many beautiful light workers. I can feel all of your light. I feel your heart. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. I can feel you too. And it was just so interesting to have Neil with the Arcturus on his shirt, and then you bringing this. And then LightNet, we're going to be launching with season 3, the Living Library, which is going to be a way for people to organize their best resources for themselves, for their teams, their companies, their organizations, and for everyone. So it's a nested, valuable treasure chest of the best of our books and our knowledge and our resources. And we're going to be launching that with season 3 as like the beta group. So thanks for all you're doing. It's a pleasure to be in contact with you. And I already have M71 written down, your booth. Like, I can't wait to connect. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for all the work that you and your husband are doing.
Of course, and come see us. And very quickly, I'm going to be with Neil and John in Glastonbury in August for their amazing conference too. So that's another excitement. But yeah, we need to connect you, and I can feel it.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, up next I have the biggest connector of the whole group, which is Tangela of Soul Search. Like, she has been such a gift to this community and a technological genius, and also just the warmth of bringing people together in conferences and events and parties. And it's just stunning to watch you and feel everything you're doing for the community. It's just like Soul Search is like grow, 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 grow. And it's been beautiful to see you do it, and to see all the impact you're having, where people can really find people that can help them. through the synchronicities. You'll go on Soul Search and synchronistically, you'll find who you need, right, to take you to that next level. So thanks again, Tangela, for all your brilliance and your expertise and your knowledge, and glad to have you here tonight.
Oh, thank you so much, Zenka. And it's so exciting to be here with all of our friends in the community, everyone all co-creating, co-collaborating, supporting one another, everything that we're just doing to bring forth this transformation in consciousness and support each and every person on the planet and up leveling. It's just so exciting. And I just love feeling everyone's energy here. And Neil, Joan, Lori, Vivian, Brandy, Nadi, Renee, and Anthony, so many, and even the ones I have, and Jesselyn and Ariana and Stone, I have not met you yet, but just, this amazing community of, we are, and Sylvan, and we're all working together, but we're all friends and we're just so connected at the heart and soul level, bringing soul family together. So we're doing it Soul Search. So super excited about Conscious Life Expo. It will be my first time there. So cannot wait to check it out and see what it's all about. We have a Soul Search booth, of course. It is booth 507. So as soon as you enter the main hall, it'll be on your left side. So we'll have our soul searchers there. You can come chat with us, check out the platform, soulsearch.io. We offer a lot of different levels for the practitioners. It's great for people who are seeking out practitioners, events, community. And we also have Soul Search TV launching. So we'll definitely be there talking about that. So we'll have our booth. I will be giving a talk on Saturday at noon on rising in cosmic unity, where we will be talking about and having an experience of all of us connecting at this cosmic level, really activating that cosmic unity, which the ascension is truly about. And so really bringing together all of the energetics that will be there present at the Conscious Life Expo, seen and unseen, known and unknown, all of us coming together with our angels, guides, ascended masters, galactic family, to really bring forth the light in a unprecedented way. And that's what we're all doing together. And we'll be sharing that experience both through, conversation, discussion, activation, meditation. So it should be, a fun experience for all of us. And then I will also be hosting that night at 5 p.m. the Soulmates and Twin Flames panel, which is going to be exciting, very close to Valentine's Day. So for those of you who want to come check it out, Twin Ray, and we have great people on the panel, all talking about soulmates, spiritual intimacy, twin flames. And, spiritual intimacy is really what we're all creating together in every moment right now, because we're all connecting at this heart and soul level and building relationships that we have never been able to have before with anyone, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a business relationship. We are creating something much more intimate with one another because we're sharing in a way that we've never been able to do before. So, and Zenka, yes, I'll work on a badge for you too. So definitely invite everyone to come check out the panel, come check out our booth and the talk. It should be a really fun experience. I'm excited to, see all of you guys there. There's so many amazing presentations and experiences, and I'll just drop in the chat. Actually, I'll share my screen for a second to just share Soul Search. Our website can go to soulsearch.io, where people can search for healer. There's Neil right there, Portal to Ascension. We're excited. Actually, Soul Search is really excited to be one of the sponsors of his San Diego conference. So we'll also be with Neil, Joan, Vivian, and crew at Neil's San Diego Portal to Ascension conference, as well as in Glastonbury. So we will see you guys there as well. And then also on our community page, we actually have a Conscious Life Expo group, which I invite all of you who are speakers to join. Drop in your presentation. I can see Suzanne Ross, Raquel Spring, Isaac Mars, Melissa Fike, Zenka, all dropping in their presentation, what time it'll be, just to let people know. And we're going to be Renee and Anthony. So definitely invite all of you guys to, and I'll drop those links in the chat right now, to join that group in the community if you have not already, and put in your presentation day and time, your booth number, and anything else, like what you're excited about, what you're looking forward to, who you're excited to meet at Conscious Life Expo, your favorite spiritual celebrity you're going to check out. So although I know we have a lot of them right here on our call today. So very excited to see all of you in person very soon, and just, really looking forward to connecting.
Thank you so much, Tanji. Tanji's the life of the party, and she can do the party online, or she can do it so definitely join up with her Soul Search community. There's a lot going on there, a lot of cool people. I know you'll love it. So thanks so much. And next we're going to have Renee and Anthony come on. Now, this is one of these power couples, that have affected my life personally. And they're doing such great work all over the world, and bringing something that we've really needed to the world. So thanks you guys for all your courage and all your work. And we're so excited to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much, Sanka and Tangela. It's so good to see everyone.
Yes, thank you for having us. Zenka, it's really beautiful to see you.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
I know, we didn't know you were going to be here. So
and Tangela as well, too.
Absolutely. So thanks for putting this together. We're super excited. It's going to be our first time at Conscious Life Expo this year. So we've been putting it off, and now we're ready. And so we'll be there. We will be at booth 404. So I guess the idea is to kind of say what we're going to do there. Is that the... We just heard about this today. So
yeah, let us know what's going to happen for you guys there.
All right. Well, we are going to have a booth there. So we'll be at booth 404, which is in the main hall. And we're also going to be speaking. I know, I was just checking because I didn't see us on the agenda, and I was just checking in with Christine there. We're going to be speaking and doing a lecture at 6 p.m. on Friday. And do you want to tell them a little bit about what we're going to talk about?
Well, as you know, I'm a fully incorporated channel now, and Yeshua will come through and he will speak. Magdala will come through and she will speak as well. And they'll speak to you, and they will do different types of healings, and they'll answer tons of questions. And I'll be able to be a part of this myself, completely incorporated with these beings coming through. And it's always an interesting ride when they're here. That's for sure.
Yeah, full embodied. So kind of avatar state of Yeshua and Magdalene. And the main message, of course, as you guys can probably imagine, is the balancing of divine masculine and divine feminine. And so that's going to be a big part of the message, as well as some of the Gnostic teachings of Yeshua and Magdalene, and how that applies to modern times. So how can we incorporate some of their teachings and their healings to the here and now on this messy earth plane? And so part of that message will also be, how do we stay grounded and do the work? Yeah. Right? Because we have to be here on this messy earth plane. I know I keep saying that, right? But that's how it's been feeling lately, at least for 2022. So we need to kind of show up here and now and do that work. And so we've been working with them a lot on how we can really apply some of that great ancient wisdom for what's happening in current times.
Yeah. And I think really, it's a really very simple message that they often give. It really comes back to the heart, being in your heart space, and love itself. And really, that's what their message was 2,000 years ago. And it's the same message again today. They don't make it too complicated. Sometimes they go a little quantum on you and talk about the soul and the aspects of it. but it's a very simple and loving message that they both give all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
So love, love, and love. And there will probably be some quantum teachings as well, because they love talking about the multidimensional aspects of the soul. And that's also part of our teachings when we teach as Anthony and Renee. We do that through Study with Spirit. So you can check out studywithspirit.com and bluesoulearth.com, and I'm seeing links going into the chat. So hopefully that's appropriate. And I'll just throw those out there in the chat for whoever's here. And then the only other thing I'll mention, and then I'll shut up, is Blue Soul Summit, because we are super excited about it. It's not the traditional summit, but we just want to let people know about it because it's free. And we're on season 4 that just went live today. And so we've got people like Marianne Williamson and Lynn McTaggart and Lynn Twist and Dr. Jean Houston and Roland McCready from Heart Math. And so it's really about bringing science and spirituality together. So, definitely sign up for that because it is free, and it's not a traditional summit in any way, shape, or form. So you're not going to be like locked out of it in 48 hours. It's up for 45 days, something like that, 45 days. So you have plenty of time to watch all the seasons. And so check that out.
And we're looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, you guys. The story of Mary Magdalene has been the one that hasn't got as much space as Jesus's story. And these two guys weave it in such a magical, powerful way. And I think that this really speaks to the balance that we're walking into. So 404 in the computer world, in the message, it's server not found. It's where the page isn't found. So we finally found Mary Magdalene, and she's with her beautiful partner, and that is where we'll find you in Conscious Life. And we're excited that you'll be there, and we love your work. So thank you.
Zenka.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zenka. We wish our book was going to be out in time, but it's not. Magdalene's not happy about it either, but she's really not happy.
Come to LightNet coaching and we'll get that book finished.
Perfect.
All right, so next we're going to have Joan coming up. So here we go. Thank you so much for being here, Joan. Welcome.
I'm really excited to be here. First of all, to put a face on LightNet, because I've been getting your emails for a while. And now I understand how we're all so connected. I mean, almost over half of it people here I know. And that's like new for me, very exciting. So yes, I'm Joan of Angels. I got named that years ago when I started painting angels. And it's a really fit name for me. It embodies Joan of Angels, Joan of Arc. I am an oracle of ancient wisdom. One of the fun, and I help people remember who they are, why they're here on the planet, and really step into and claim their soul purpose, their mission, and their journey. And so I'm very excited, by the way, about being at the expo. This year, usually I introduce speakers. Some years I've spoken and shown my art. But this year, I've also taken on a role of helping speakers get booths and get speaking time. So it's been actually more exciting than ever, which is where I've interfaced a bit with Brandy. But I think this is going to be one of the best expos in all the years I've been going, and I've been going since 2012. So it will be because people are ready to get back to life, and they need, this kind of helpful information from all of the speakers. So I'll be talking about, I have a free workshop. It's a 90-minute workshop on Friday at 2 p.m. So I am starting the whole conference and teaching people. It's a good time to drop in, and really, if you've been wondering about your intuition, what your superpowers are, what your gifts are, this particular class will teach you about how to trust the voices you hear, how to act upon them, and how to use them to really identify with who you are, where you're going, so you can actually receive these messages for yourself, which I think is really important. And one of the fun things that I do, in addition to the Conscious Life, is it's exciting to hear everyone talk about all these events. I get to work with Neil. I'm the director of productions at Portal to Ascension. And we do have some juicy conferences coming up, and I mean juicy. not just San Diego, but then Glastonbury. And then our Egypt tour is almost half full. I mean, almost, it's so exciting to be part of these events as well. So when you step into a conscious life and conscious living, and you start working with a community like this, it's really, really the happening thing to do. So that's what I love to do. I love helping people to really start using their gifts and all your gifts that you've been given, and to start coming out from the closet and start really sharing your wisdom. And so a lot of the work you'll hear, not just in my class, but at the expo, is really about your true self, stepping into it, knowing who it is, feeling free enough to identify with who you are. So you can find me. I have a lot of new things happening this year. I'm working on a soul mission activation program that is it's really a compilation of many metaphysical tools to really access your gifts and your purpose. And I'm creating a new plan with my art where you're going to be able to actually get soul essence art that reveals on a canvas who you are and always reflects back how powerful you really are, which I think we all need to remember. So on that note, I will say I'm really excited to see all of you at the expo, and I really excited. You have no idea how exciting this particular conference will be, and also just to see old friends. And so guys, if you haven't been to the expo, make sure you come. You'll walk away with knowing more people than ever. You'll get to see all of your favorites. Neil's going to have all the information about our conferences coming up as well. So come visit me 2 p.m. on Friday. Start off the expo with Joan of Angels.
Thank you so much, Joan. Yeah, I think that you couldn't have said it better. There's nothing more important than us all finding our true self and then empowering ourselves to be free and to deliver what we're here, in our joy to do. So that's going to be amazing. And I love that you're going to be working on that topic. I love it. It's great to meet you. Great to have you.
And I love that you're all going to be there. That's what makes the expo so powerful, to come together. And that's why thousands of people come to the expo just for that experience.
Yeah, we're not going to sleep. I can tell you that much.
No sleep.
No sleeping. So next I have Stone Hobbit from the other side of the pond. And she's been working with LightNet. She's, an incredible, contactee, an incredible wise person. And I've been so excited to know you, and thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you, Zinka. Yes, I'm excited for season 3. There's some absolutely fantastic courses there. I have been working very hard on putting together my course because it's going to take us down so many different tunnels. So much adventure is about to be had. So I'm a long time contactee, and it's taken me a long time to find the commonalities. And once we find the commonalities, then we start communicating. I had to learn to communicate with myself, finding my inner self, finding my inner voice. So I do a lot of inner transmutation work, so deprogramming from old programs, old ideals, allowing oneself to find themselves, to acknowledge it, to acknowledge the journey that they've been on so far. Most of us have already had some form of communication with different types of entities out there. And one of the things that I do is I'll show you that you've already been having communication. You just need to tune in a little tiny bit, and then you'll just be flowing. So there's so many different types of frequencies that come in. Once we can identify the frequency, where it's coming from, recognize it, because it's all multidimensional. We're multidimensional beings having multidimensional communications with other multidimensional entities. So once I found my higher awareness of self, I was able to see that from that perspective, I could communicate on a larger multi-dimensional scale. So then the orbs, I have the orbs come in, I have much footage on all of these different types of beings. I have 3 books coming out in the very near future, not in time for all of the conferences that are going on. And so I'm actually really excited to be running this class and looking at the commonalities that we have and building a better communication board so that we can communicate further with these other entities that are coming in. So yes, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to pick up the frequency, put it into gear a bit more. They say I'm at the bottom of the world, but I see the sun rise before anybody else does. So therefore, you're going to turn this planet upside down, girl. So here we go. I'm ready for this. I hope you come along and take a look at the different forms of transmutations I'm going to put out there for us all.
Thank you so much, Stone. Yeah, if you want to register for Stone's team, again, these are teams of 8 to 12. They're very small, intimate groups. You're going to get all of Stone's knowledge and you're going to get to practice it. And you're going to realize that the other people in your team are there for a reason. So there's like this wild interconnection that you experience. And 96% of our 100 that have gone through the process have made contact. So it's like, it's a very hands-on, in your body, feeling it. And when Stone, you decided to be a professor, I was just like, okay, great. Hogwarts is alive. So lightnet.org/Stone, that's where you can find her group, and you'll be with the lucky group there. So I'm going to bring up, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to bring up Melissa. Good to have you, Melissa. Welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you. So at the expo, at the Conscious Life Expo, I will actually be doing manifesting in the Akashic Records on the quantum field. I have a #1 book. It's been out on Amazon for over 4 years. It's been #1 on Amazon pretty much almost the whole time it's been out. It's all about utilizing the higher frequency of the quantum to transcend those karmic patternings that are holding us back, because all that dense frequency that's accumulates in our energy field really keeps us from activating and connecting with our higher consciousness and anchoring that in. And so what I love is the new things that have been coming through around manifesting. And I use the word manifesting because so many people use that word like it's the key word, but actually it's creation. Because we're utilizing the frequency on the quantum, we're actually creating energy, and then it manifests in this world. So really, it starts with the energy of creation. My talk is on Friday at 6 o'clock, a few hours after Jones. And I also have a booth there with Zanka. Zanka and I are going to be hanging out together. So it might be a really high frequency booth. So if you go by and you're like, wow, I feel really good, it's because we're activating that booth in a high vibration. I'd love to see everyone. And my goal is to really connect with everybody. And I also will bring my book. I believe I'm doing a book signing as well after my talk, I think. And then I just want to share one other thing because I'm super excited about it. I haven't even announced it to my people yet, but I have a, there's my website. I have a retreat coming up in Sedona, and it's a 3-day retreat, and it's very experiential. I'm pretty multidimensional, like a lot of people here. I travel interdimensionally, and I'm very connected to the Ascension Councils. I channel them, and I work on many realms. And this class is actually, or this Sedona retreat is actually for people to get together and experience these multidimensional energies and to play with it. And there'll be ceremonies, and it's Sedona. I mean, it's the best place ever in my mind. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, Zanka.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I can't wait to meet with you this weekend to plan the booth. I'm excited to see everyone at our booth in Conscious Life Expo. Thanks for all the work you're doing, Melissa. You know, I've heard you lead major transmissions that you've done. And I was always like, wow, like this is high knowledge. And I just love the voice that comes through you, like the tone and what they say. And it's always geared toward the listener, which is so powerful. So thanks for being in your power, and thanks for sharing your wisdom with the world. And I just want to remind everyone, tonight we have, 3 times a year we start the seasons at LightNet, but we're also doing the Conscious Life Expo. But if we always meet the third Saturday or third Thursdays of every month to basically share your guys' news. What are you working on? This is the consortium. This is us together. So if you have a project, a website, a course, a conference that you're doing, we want to hear about it, and we want you to come on and present. So you can email us at team@lightnet.org, and we'll let you know how to join us. So we have another new face tonight. Welcome, Lori. You guys have been on since the beginning. Thank you so much for your patience, and welcome very much. Welcome for being here. Thank you.
Okay, you can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Hi, thank you. Thank you. It's so awesome to be here with everybody. Some people I know, and some people I don't. And I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you at the expo. And this is going to be off the charts amazing to be there. So I'm super looking forward to it. And I just want to introduce my husband also, Bob Wheeler. He will be there also. He is bringing some new type of bioarchitecture. And so maybe he can share that info too. But where to begin? So the talk that I'll be doing, the lecture, is the keys to the portal of human advancement, actualization, and transcendence. And I have been channeling since I was the age of 5. I've worked with many interdimensionals and multi-beings and extraterrestrials and many different beings. And what I'm bringing forward is creating in the quantum reality. The 4 aspects to manifesting. I'll be talking about timelines, dimensions and densities, all in 45 minutes. The doorway to access into higher realms, working through the upper chakras, those beyond the 7, and in through the heart. And this is an aspect that I don't think people realize, that we have this capability. When we think of Sananda Jesus, who created miracles, there are miracles going on all the time. We work in this quantum field, and I think I just want people to realize we all have the power to work in this capability. And I've been very privy to be a part of not only working with and accessing these miracles. It's been such a privilege. So I'll be doing some hypnotic meditation to create in the quantum, helping people understand how to do that. And I'll be at booth 505. So I think I'm going to be right across from Tangela. And I'll be lecturing on Saturday at 3:00. I'd like to also just mention some things that are upcoming for everybody. I have a retreat that is Rediscover Your Soul in Lemuria, Hawaii, and it'll be all about Lemuria, and that's April 26th through May 2nd, right after the conference in San Diego. There's a Blind Frog Ranch, Encounters with Paranormal and Extraterrestrial Activity. I've been there numerous times. Dwayne Ollinger is like family for my husband and I. He's a super guy. He's boots on the ground kind of guy. And so we're putting together because a retreat June 23rd through 25th. I've worked on Blind Frog many times. I've met many extraterrestrials there. And I actually read for Dwayne at a conference some years ago, and Charlie, his counterpart. and actually helped Charlie solve an unsolved cold case of a missing woman. So Dwayne, I think I had him at that, and he was pretty excited about hearing what's going on underground. And then in August, right after the August conference in Glastonbury, I'm doing a Mystery and Magic of Sacred England. So that's August 15th through 20th, and that's in Glastonbury. And possibly Joan will be there. We're still working on those details. And then David Young, who has written a book, The True Story of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And he's going to be bringing his music and his channeled information about Mary and Jesus. And then we move right over to France, south of France, and doing, and it's sort of a package, can be one or the other, Mary Magdalene and the Cathars in south of France. And that's August 21 through 29. And that's following Mary Magdalene's path and wisdom, whom I do work with and channel also. And then in October, back up to Mount Shasta and the portals of Mount Shasta. And everybody's going to Egypt. So next March, I'm coupled with Jorge Luis Delgado, and we are going to Egypt probably for about 8-10 days. We haven't gotten all the details together. So really excited to go to the Sphinx, because that opens up so much for the inner person in who we are. But we'll be going to many of the temples also. So lots coming up. It's going to be a year beyond belief. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting everybody too. So thank you, Zenka.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, I gotta get my passport. You know, well, it's ready, but I mean, I'm just like, wow, you know, like you remind me of Alan, because I'm always like, Alan, you're living my dream life, like you're traveling all over the world, like, you know. So I think it really is important when we can do it, is to be in these sacred sites. And I was also touched by your story of you being awakened since you're 5 already, you know, and just staying awake. So I'm really impressed with everything you're doing. I can't wait to share your links here. So go ahead and share that, and we'll put them out. So
And I'm just going to mention, I also put up a book that I wrote just a couple years ago. Oh no, not another learning experience, a metamorphosis. So I'm on the book group too.
Yellow butterflies are my like magic symbols. That was like home run right there.
They're awesome.
So coming up, thanks everyone. Coming up, we have some more professors from LightNet that are going to be talking. We also have Sylvain, we have Jesselyn, we have Nadi Hanna, the amazing Nadi Hanna. We have Oriana that's going to be speaking. So stay tuned for those. We're going to take a quick spot with Isaac right now to talk about his Conscious Life Expo. I don't know who Isaac is. Go ahead, Isaac, you're on.
Okay, it just didn't change on my screen. Apologies. Greetings, galactic beings, fellow starseeds, light workers, and spiritualists. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you in this now moment. I'm extremely excited for our collaboration at Conscious Life Expo. I just finished a class actually on sovereignty. I'm trying is not a good word. I am spearheading a sovereignty movement here in Sedona with other like-minded souls and individuals. And we're definitely making some progress. And it's not only happening here in Sedona, it's happening out in Texas. I mean, this energy is really reaching out and entering the global consciousness. And it's a very exciting time, because as we take back our sovereignty, as we remove our name from the Sesta KV Trust and fulfill the Sesta KV Act, all of the millions and billions of dollars of energy that they've been siphoning from us parasitically come back to us. So we can use that energy to reach our greater potential and to manifest our wildest dreams. So I did not show up completely punctual today, but as my father always said, a wizard always arrives exactly when he intends. So without further ado, I will share with you what I'm going to be doing at CLE this year. So I'm going to share my screen for a moment. For those of you who don't know this about me, I wrote a book called Unity Theory. It is the first theory to solve for gravity, dark matter, and dark energy. It also goes into the science of consciousness and how time is chronoconcurrent. Chronoconcurrency meaning time all happening at once. And what my book explains to the reader is essentially that the only way that we could have the experience of linear time, the only way that we could have free will, and the only way for all of time to occur at once, which is what mainstream physics reports, is if there are infinite realities from which we create this single reality from. Meaning that if you can imagine it, not only is it possible, it already exists. So we are on a journey to rediscovering our multidimensional and limitless capacity. And another exciting thing that I'm going to be announcing this year more fully, I'm going to give you a little teaser here, is the triune model. So I noticed after I picked up my whiteboard and started brainstorming on what could be the most simple model to explain the universe to any person in this reality, I realized all it took was 3 concepts: the all, the light, and the shadow. And if you look throughout ancient history, you will see this shape, a triangle with either 2 wings like this and no bottom, or the full triangle with specifically a circle at each apex. And what we can learn from this is extremely empowering. So this year, me and a close friend of mine here in Sedona, Arizona, we are going to be recording and collaborating with other powerful light workers and scientists that are already established in the field. And we're going to do a 3-part docuseries. I'm going to do the first episode on the all, in which I will describe the physics and science that unity theory reports. And then the second episode is going to be all about the shadow, and the shadow here in this reality, how the human mind has been manipulated for multiple millennia. And then on the third episode, to tie it all together, we're going to go into the light. And the light is all about heart consciousness, what some people may call Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness, and how we can enter this constant state of non-dualism. And where non-dualism actually takes us is the center of the triune model. And in the center, with our feminine and our masculine and our inner child, represented by the white, all unified, walking that middle path between the mind and the heart, we reach our full potential. So I'm really excited to be debuting for the first time to a mainstream audience. It's going to be extremely exciting and monumental. I feel like we really are going to make waves, because with 10,000 plus people at a single expo, the connections that are going to be made are not connections that can be suppressed by the matrix. They're not, this is not something that can be put back into Pandora's box per se. So the cat's going to be let out of the bag this year, and people are going to start to realize, there's a blue pill and there's a red pill. Do I want to stay in the matrix, or do I want to become part of something bigger? And actually, if you don't mind, Zenka, I just need to commend Zenka for all the amazing work she's doing. I am openly stating to the world, here and otherwise, I'm ready to go to the top of rooftops just to shout this. LightNet is the future. LightNet is how we are going to bring all the starseeds, light workers, and spiritualists under one banner. And the way that this is going to happen is going to be a very wild roller coaster that none of you are probably expecting. But as far as I can tell, this is the gathering of Israel. We are the chosen people, as in we chose ourselves. We chose to be starseeds. We chose to come here and help this planet. We chose to unify this world under the nature of consciousness, under unconditional love. So along with LightNet, I'm going to be working on another sister project to LightNet, which I will be announcing soon as well. And I hope to go into more about that at the expo. So stay tuned. I may even have a trailer made for the end of my talk at the expo. So it's going to be really exciting. Once this science goes mainstream, there's going to be a huge shift, because all of these scientists that are still to this day, as of yesterday and the day before, posting on YouTube, posting on the internet, oh, we don't have the answers to gravity, dark matter, and dark energy. We don't even know what these things are. We do now. So I'm just being a little bit more open and a little bit more fiery with my energy as the collective shifts into the Aries North node, because this stuff is ready. I mean, we've been sitting on this for over a year now, and by making this mainstream, nobody can argue against the logic in the science that I'm presenting to the world. And if you can, here I am, because I'm open to debating. I'm open to learning more. Prove me wrong, because if you can prove me wrong, then we can work together to find the answer, because unity is always the way. I love all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Isaac. And thank you for your kind words for LightNet. You know, LightNet is an infrastructure project that we hope to use to support all the other organizations that are here tonight and beyond. Like, one of my things that's always been like, wow, like if the spiritual community had the technology tools that the other people are using, what would be possible? You know what I mean? And so that's always been our mission, is to build sort of a plumbing architecture where everyone can have their individual organizations and their own branding and their own people and their own community, but actually be supported underneath in the basement with some really powerful tools, mapping, living libraries, things like that, so that we can really take this to the next level. So yeah, congratulations on your book and your passion and all that, Isaac. The next person that I'm coming up is also extremely passionate. Jesslyn, are you able to turn your camera on? Okay, if not, I'm going to go to Sylvain. She may have had to go because I know she added her pieces in there. So Sylvain, you have been with this consortium, this Exo Consortium, for so long, and you've been doing such incredible work to do the same thing, like trying to find our commonalities, trying to come together to do the big stuff, because it does take this coordination. And I think that in the end, if we can show that we can work together, what else is there? That is embodiment. Is like, that's unity. Is like saying we're just all ingredients to one thing, or we're all hands and fingers of one thing. So thanks so much for all the work you've done to really coordinate a lot of different organizations to do massive, inspiring, beautiful things. So thank you for being here all the way from Thailand.
All the way from Thailand, that's right. I am Canadian, though, for those of you who don't know me. I just moved to Thailand on a permanent basis to have a family, basically. But I am I'm the founder of the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. And like it says, it's a network of organizations that support the idea of creating a formal open embassy for diplomacy. Diplomacy at the top level, like actual diplomacy with diplomats designated by nations. So our contrary to a lot of your work, which is a lot more grassroots, our work is with some hard heads, so people that are a bit resistant. They're careful about what they say, they go what's in the media and things like that. So we take we're taking a special strategy in reaching out to these individuals at the United Nations and at the national level to get this to get an official embassy built. There are rules for that, and we are dealing with the rules of the nations, right, at the United Nations for that. We have achieved quite a bit with the network over since we created the alliance about 2.5 years ago now. 2 years ago, almost exactly. Some organizations that are part of the network have been at it for 45 years, trying to achieve this goal. Others are fairly new, and we welcome all organizations to participate in supporting this project. The strategy for the alliance essentially is numbers, because those people that we talk to in diplomats and politicians, they rely on numbers because most of the countries are democracies, and therefore they listen to us if we have votes in hand. So supporters and organizations that are that like what we're doing, and the mandate is only to construct this formal embassy according to the rules of international law, the Vienna Convention being one of them. So if you are an organization that supports the creation of such an embassy so that we can have our national leaders and other individuals can have open diplomatic contacts for all to see, then you can contact me and can add you to the list, and it'll add power to our discussions. Some of the successes we've had over the couple of years that we've managed to gather $50 million US of funds for the construction of the embassy, thanks to one specific organization that had been gathering that money since 1974. So that's great. We have that. And nearly 600,000 supporters, among about 20 organizations and counting right now. That gives us a lot of power when we talk to organizations and political bodies. So we're doing that. So I want, give me a sec, like I will post. I think, Zenka, you're a bit quicker than I am, or is it Isaac? Yeah, that's Isaac. So this is our website for you to check out, and there is a support network section. I'm here every month, as Zenka mentioned. I'm a regular because there's always something going on, and since we work at a different level than most of your organizations that are more grassroots, it's nice to know what's happening at the other levels because it's moving. You've heard about disclosures, especially in that last year, for example. Well, very recently, I can give you, this is the last couple of weeks, and one of the news I'm going to give you actually is from this morning, like that recent. So for about 2 weeks ago, we were able to connect with the director of UNUSA. UNUSA, I'm going to put up the link for that. It's the United Nations, give me a sec. I'm going to give you the actual term. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. Now, this doesn't sound like some of you may be excited about. This is about satellites and rights and regulations of outer space and how to enable and connect most people of the Earth. So it's more about the technology and nothing super strange. However, they do delve into UAPs because there's disclosure and they have discussions around that within the organization, but their mandate is not to find out what those are. It's more about enabling countries through the use of space, i.e. technology. But we have connected with the new director of the NUSA, and spoke to the individual about the ET Embassy project. We were in regular contact with the ex-director of the NUSA, for a few years. She's still connected with us. So that's kind of a toe into the UN through that outer space organization. And more recently, one of our, let's call him colleagues in San Marino, and this is the news from this morning, finally, Project Titan has been approved by the government of San Marino. Now, Project Titan is very simply explained as a national proposal at the UN to set up a committee, a UN-based committee, which will be composed by multiple nations to examine the occurrence of UAPs or UFOs around the planet. So that's an international conversation that will happen at the UN level. And that's pretty big because these organizations are very timid about UFOs, ETs, anything like that. Now they'll be discussing probably disclosure for one, but also what are they like, and that's going to be a top level discussion about that. And within and what we're doing at the Alliance is that we're having backroom discussions about creating the embassy. So there's a bit of a synergy in discussion. Some of it is open, some of it is more backroom, into bringing to light the very real possibility of actual open contact, like not just individual to individual, but media ties, mass media, everybody can see what's happening type of contact within the rules of the established rules of diplomacy. So that was in the news this morning. So for us, since we work in that area, it's big. It helps us a whole lot because then we can have the people that we are speaking with at the top level will gradually be less timid about openly discussing what they're talking about with us regarding the embassy and the possibility of open contact and joining a galactic civilization, right? So we expect within this year, 2023, to have a nation become public with an offer of creating an embassy with extraterritoriality and all the rights and privileges of an actual embassy between nations. We don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that is based on discussions we've been having. That's the expectation, and the presentation with the NUSA and the Titan project are accelerators towards that. They're very helpful. Just to finish off, the Alliance is looking for a few things this year. If some of you want to help us out, we're looking for 1 million supporters by the end of the year. Now we're at nearly 600,000, so we're more than halfway in through multiple organizations. And we're looking for multi-language volunteers. Right now we have about 24 volunteers around the world. And we need to connect with other organizations that would support this initiative. And we're also looking for organizations and events, conferences and events to which we can attach ourselves to promote the project, to support the conference and the other organizations themselves, as long as there's alignment with messaging and what we're trying to achieve. We'll be happy to collaborate and support. So that's all for me for now. Thank you, Zenka.
Thank you so much, Sylvain, for doing all the heavy lifting. This is going to be, like I always say, it's like a mimetic powerhouse. To have an ET embassy will be like just such a iconic thing. And thanks you guys for doing it in such a professional way. Thank you for all the heavy lifting. It's a big deal, big deal. We have a couple more presenters here. Oriana is going to be talking about her evolutionary empath and her new project to bring that to all of us, and how the empathic people can really come together and make a difference. And we also have Nadi Hanna, who's going to be coming on next. She is a beloved member of our group, and we could not be doing LightNet without her. It's just, she's part of us, and we love and support everything she's doing. And she decided to be a guide this season. So we're just like, woohoo, because you've done workshops both here locally, and they've been so powerful. So this is really a big treat to have you. And you're going to be
thank you, Zenka.
Moving up with me to Conscious Life Expo, so that's going to be great too.
I know. I am so excited. It's wonderful to be on this call and see, I know the majority of people, and everybody's going to be at Conscious Life, at the Ascension Retreat in Sedona in March, and at the San Diego Retreat with Neil in April. And it's just really lovely to feel the community. Not everybody's going to be everywhere, but to really connect and begin to recognize each other and build these relationships. I feel really blessed for that. And Zenka, you're such a big part of that. So thank you. And I want to say one last thing about Conscious Life, which is I'm going to be working with Mark Zimzak and the biocharger, and we're going to be in the Newport room. And that's going to be ongoing sessions that you can sit with this Tesla coil scalar energy tech. And it's really cool. I'm not going to be able to be in there the whole day because you can't sit with the biocharger all day, but it's really fun. I highly recommend going to check it out. And so I'm looking forward to all of that, but I'm really getting excited for my crop circle class. What happens, as the classes are starting pretty soon, in a week or two. And so I'm in the prep mode. I've been working with the circles for almost a decade now, and they're just coming alive again, right? They're like, oh, we get to come play, and so it's full immersion crop circle study, and they're just all of the info, all of the secrets. I'm looking at Michael Glickman and Karen and Steve Alexander. I'm going with all the old school folks, and we're going to bring out so much cool information because we have 8 whole weeks to really dive into contact, to how powerful these things are. They change lives, and they really are kind of the best kept secret, although we don't want it to be a secret anymore, because they're here for our consciousness expansion. They're here to help us remember our multidimensional selves. So going through this course, you're going to activate a lot. You're going to really step into the next level. We're talking about technologies that know how to turn your DNA on. Like, this is a really extraordinary opportunity. And I feel really, really blessed and humbled to be of service to this technology and to this phenomenon that's here for us. So I love being a part of LightNet. I love bringing crop circles into the community, and love being here. Love you, Zenka. I think that's it. I'm sure. Oh, I do have a website, and I've got a bunch of sacred geometry classes. I've got online classes. I've got an 8-module course with Jenna Layden and Star Family Wisdom. She's going to be represented at a lot of these gatherings as well. She's doing great stuff in terms of bridging, new people new to contact and people finding their star family. She's a great part of this community, even though she's not embodied yet. Courses online, independent courses. I think Zenka put my website there. So come check it out. Light language, whales and dolphins, all the different ways we have to access our highest potential here on this earth plane. So thank you so much, everybody. It's good to see you all.
Thank you so much, Nadi. Yeah, so she's going to be sharing her link in the chat. You can also, for her deep dive into crop circles, it's lightnet.org/Nadi, N-A-D-I. We also have a new video that we're going to share up that we did where you're talking about everything you're going to go into. So yeah, I know everybody on your team's getting really excited. So I am too.
Yeah.
So next up we have Oriana, and then Jesselyn's here as well. So we're going to bring her up. Oriana and I just spent an hour or two together the other day, just talking about her knowledge. She's traveled all over the world. We're talking about the sacred sites and how activating they are. You've also done so much work with heart math and understanding the mathematics and the physics of when we can tap into our vibrational signature and how that just really like fractals into the all. And you really take people out of their head and into their heart in a way that I haven't seen other people ever do. You were in the remote viewing class, and one day Alan's like, okay, you can do a session. And all of us were like, what? Like, it was really great. So thanks so much for leading a team this semester, Oriana. We're happy to have you here tonight.
Okay, thank you, Zenka. Quite a whirlwind. Yeah, I'm really at a point of, wow, what more is there to be said? Let's just all ascend. So in light of that, I'd actually like you all to just take a moment and really feel into your heart and feel it pulse. Let me get a sip here. So the heart is a sensing organ beyond our emotions. And it's the heart that forms first. So I wanted to know, how do you make one heart beat the first time? So I am a contactee. I've never referred to myself that way before. However, I was also initiated by a shaman in the Amazon. And during the many trips to South America, I was in one of our ceremonies, a light being appeared. Don Eduardo described him as dressed as a Syrian, and he had 3 scrolls in his arms that were a gift to humanity. And those 3 scrolls were given to me in my caretaking. And they were encoded, so I literally traveled around the world to sacred sites and studying with different masters along the way, and a lot of sitting with the stones at night when I sneak in by myself and say, teach me, what do you know? So I was inside the Great Pyramid all night, in the king's chamber, in the sarcophagus all night, in the arms of the Sphinx all night, on top of the Great Pyramid all night, in the Temple of Dendera on a full moon night, and in the Sinai Desert, where I was taken aboard a craft. And I was told, come over to the controls, you'll feel right at home. And I remember the controls weren't touch of control panels like typing, but more like an ergonomic panel that you touched, you felt. It was a kinetic remembering, a knowing. And what happened was the panels of colors and forms on the screen were like fractal patterns that you formed, that formed a black hole that the ship was falling into and falling through. And why I was given the scrolls, I was told, because I was the one that heard the call. And I was the one that would be innovating a pathway to open the door from the inside. So in all of these years, I learned a movement form called continuum, which uses movement to explore the internal realm. And as the ancients knew of in the hieroglyphs, there was the non-material realm and a physical universe, and the non-material realm flows into a physical universe. And it is that point of most influence where the non-material, the formless, the unseen realm influences, informs the physical realm. And what I wanted to know was what and how we could access that point of most influence to be the most effective. And in a conversation with Ken Wilber, who regarded me as a empath with a world-centric view, that I could feel the world. And I said, but Ken, if I can feel it at this level, there must be something I can do at this level. He said, oh yeah, good point. So we talked different things that were possible, but I kept following this point of most influence. Where could I find this movement into the quantum field where the non-existence becomes existence, where the implicate order in physics becomes the explicate order, where butterfly wings exist even as the caterpillar crawls. And in finding it, the pulsing rhythm is a universal pattern. It's a universal language. And it's one that is unobservable in that it doesn't appear in the observed universe. It is the sub-Planckian scale of pulsing rhythmic pattern in which the universe is born in the moment. Which moment? Every moment. Now, that sub-Planckian, as it becomes the known universe, that moment of interface is the point of most influence. And it's where we can align and attune to the future unfolding, and manifest is a way in which we tune into the frequency and allow the world to come into alignment with it. Imagine being on a ship in the middle of a sea, floundering in rough seas, and being thrown a lifeline. And someone has to catch the lifeline to pull us into safe harbor. And imagine being that trim tab, as Buckminster Fuller called the trim tab, the one that pushes the main rudder of a huge ocean liner, but just a few to push it into the alignment. So what I'm really calling forth is those that know they already have gift, intelligence, skill, and can feel at a very deep level. But rather than feeling like you have to protect yourself and it's too much and I'm too sensitive and oh, there's something like almost wrong with me, I have to watch out, that no, there's another way of actually moving into that empathic knowing where feeling is the way the universe is communicating. It's alive. Oh, it's pulsing alive. It's pulsing alive inside the heart beat, inside the right atrium, called the sinoatrial point inside the heart. The singularity is holding the rhythm in the same way a rest in between the notes holds the rhythm of the symphony for all the music that has ever been played, for all the instruments ever been made. The one thing in common is the rest, where music is not. Yet here is the rhythm unfurling, unfolding in fractal patterns. And the real secret to it is the skill that you develop is one in which you find that rhythmic pulsing pattern as a feeling sensation. In the same way you can't teach a toddler how to walk, you can't tell them how to do it. Stand up, a little to the left, no, this right, no, this wrong. I mean, that's, you have to allow them to find that for themselves. In the same way, this point of most influence encoded with a template, a crystalline template known as a time crystal in science, a periodic repeating pattern in time, a rhythmic unfurling, unfolding, a rhythmic unfurling, unfolding pattern that you feel. It's a felt sensation. The organ of the heart is a feeling movement that allows the heart itself to communicate non-verbally, non-linear language, a pulsing rhythmic pattern that the mind begins to acknowledge, read, know. Oh, that intuitive knowing. Oh, what is it that touches your heart and moves you before you can even think about it? That communication is pulsing alive within you at all moments, and we're coming into knowing it, feeling it. I'm trained as remote viewing for a year. So we use targets of remote viewing pictures so that we have feedback to that intuitive knowing. So you begin to trust that impulse that's communicating, before it becomes observable universe, the heart is already feeling in the quantum field in the point of most influence. So you align with your heart's deepest desire and imagine being beamed aboard a mothership. Instead of going, oh, you got my pattern lock aboard that ship? But you have your own pattern lock. You find your own rhythmic pulsing alive within you as your soul encoded it. And it's pulsed within this archetypal rhythm that we come into, feel, pattern, pulse, the celestial pulse of the rhythm of the universe, alive.
Yeah, I spent all day talking about, we're working on a project to do the Maharishi effect, the super radiance effect. And it's done with only 9,000 people globally, can affect everything. And what they're doing, I think, is similar to what you're doing. They're going to the before. It's the before this.
Just before.
Right? Right. And that is where, it's almost like us going back to age 0 or 1, where you're just free. Like, there's not all the thinking, there's not all the what should I be? You just are who you're supposed to be. And when we train more people to get into the state that she's talking about, into that free moment, into that moment a void before the creation, that is where we hold the field. And as you say, Oriana, when people attach and can understand to their greatest unfurling, like we're all like the, you know what I mean? We're the caterpillars now, but eventually we'll be these butterflies or these oak trees or whatever. So when you attach to that end allness, there's a completion that happens. And I think that's what the entire collective is close to figuring out. It's when we cascade into a moment where there's no words necessary. It's just an infinite moment. And so, yeah.
Also, the moment is the heart of the heart of the heart. Think of what's the heart of a heart. What's inside a heart? Well, it's where the hologram actually is encoded in this pulsing rhythmic pattern, and that you can feel it, and it feels rather like the hum of the heart, like the universe humming into existence, and then it becomes observable.
Yeah.
What happens before you can see it, before you know it's created as physical reality? And HeartMath did the testing of the EKG and the EEG, testing the heart and the brain, and then showing these very evocative pictures person would react to as something really ooh or ah. And what they discovered is that the heart responded before they showed the picture to the brain. The heart already responded, knowing what that picture that was not yet here already was responding. So my question was to Roland McCready was, well, how is it communication? How is that the heart knows what's that being communicated to the brain, such that we can begin to understand this pulsing, rhythmic, patterned language that is the liquid crystal of the body itself.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that we have spiritual people like yourself that are neck and neck with the science, because the science is now proven. And so now we need to understand what it takes to be there. So we're going to move on because we're wrapping everything up right now. And we have Jessalyn here, but for those of you interested in learning more about this and getting into that actual state, Oriana is going to be leading a team. It's called Quantum Leap Through the Portal of the Heart, and you can find it at lightnet.org/Oriana. And we'll share the link as well in the chat. And again, these teams are starting in a week, so looking forward. Thank you so much for sharing your information tonight, Oriana. Welcome, Jessalyn. Thank you for your patience. You know, you're just back from South America, and you are Thanks for being here tonight. And we're also really excited for what you're bringing in everything you do. But your intuition, I know a lot of people have been signing up, and entire families are signing up, because it's like you say, it's an entire toolkit for people to have to not only heal themselves, but to really find their navigation system. And it's kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of this call with Joan. It's like, if you can figure out your intuition, everything else is easy. And then when you relax, I need to do, that's when the magic happens, right? So it's like, once you get the imagery, it's like, oh, I know the answer to this, I know which way to go. Then you can relax and enjoy. And that's actually when things start clicking. So thank you, Jessalyn, for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thank you for doing this, and thank you for having this. I agree with Isaac that LightNet is the future. For reals, it really is. This, all of the people who are coming on to share their gifts with LightNet, it's just spectacular. And if I could not do anything else but just do all the classes, I totally would. I was like, Zenka, can I do all the classes? She's like, Jessalyn. So I'm teaching Intuition Accelerator, and I'm really passionate about the elevation of humanity. And it really requires
knowing oneself and knowing the difference between the voices in your head, what's coming from your head, what's coming from your heart, what's coming from your guides, what's coming from entities, what's coming from different frequencies. And I have been studying frequency and energy and healing for 20 something years, and been in the psychic world and realm as a professional psychic for 30 years. And I am passionate about healing. So we're going to be learning different techniques to contact and connect with your angels, your guides, NHI, non-human intelligence, ETs, interdimensionals, your higher self, which is probably an alien to a lot of people. So we'll give you tools so you can access that, and it's different tools, because some of us can access things from the inside out, and some of us work better from the outside in. And then there's the spirit, body, and mind. And so there's 3 different ways that we can get in, and we can get in from the outside, and we can also take the back door as well. So by the end of the 8 weeks, you'll be able to send and receive telepathic messages. You'll also be able to remote view, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fun as well, because that's one of my favoriteest things, is how much fun can you have doing what you're already doing.
And that's the truth. I can vouch for that. Jessalyn is tons of fun. She's also very, like, she will push you into your highest thing, and you'll have fun doing it. And you're like, wow, I did that, or wow, I healed that. Like, it's a really powerful course, and she's a powerful human. So thank you for all that you're bringing. And yeah.
Thank you, Zenka. Thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for everybody in the back end making this happen. It really is so special. Every single person has their unique gifts, and that's what it really is all of us coming together. It's really all of us or none of us, and I'm rooting for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jessalyn. I mean, these are people here that have presented tonight that have been in this work for so long, and they just ended up somehow in a LightNet class, and then they're allowed to guide a new team after they've been through a team. So this is how this just grows. It's like we share what we know with each other, we learn from each other, and then everything just gets richer. So when you sign up for one team, you get access to all 16 teams. So you're really inundated with all that your curiosity can experience in that time. So thanks everyone for being here tonight. Thank you to Alan for hosting the live stream. And we look forward to seeing everyone in 10,000 people in Conscious Life Expo. It's going to be so stimulating. I'm just like, I'm so excited. And Mark, like we said, Mark's going to be doing the biocharger. So looking forward to all the workshops, everything that's going on. Thank you to Mark for all his support for LightNet. Thanks to the volunteers who've come together to make all this happen. And we look forward to seeing you guys again next month. We have the community call tomorrow or Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, lightnet.org/connection. It's free. Come hang out with people. It's groups of 3 where you can really talk and listen to each other. So have a great night, everyone. Thanks again.